Yo, what's up, guys? What are we doing today? Man, coming at you with some more NBA break news of today. We'll talk about Ben Simmons, as well. Just tweeted out that Brooklyn Nets guard Ben Simmons has filed a grievance to challenge the nearly $20 million of his salary withheld to him by the Philadelphia 76ers this season. So, as you know, Ben Simmons has played a grand total of 0 games this NBA season and was fined because of this by the 76ers not showing up to practice, not showing up for the team, and just really not having any sort of direct contact with the Sixers at all. They went ahead and fined him on numerous occasions, so much to the fact that it was almost up to $20 million in fines, okay, which is just unreal. The grievance, which will now go into arbitration process, was shared with the team, the NBA, and the National Basketball Players Association, aka the NBPA. Late this week, sources to ESPN, the NBPA is supporting Simmons in an attempt to reclaim his salary. Holy, I did not know he really was fined almost $20 million. Now I know why he was mad about losing money. There was like this, I don't know if it was a troll, that somebody was saying that he was, like, his financial stability was looking good or something like that. I mean, he was on a contract for like what, upwards of $150 million. $20 million is a lot of money. Don't get it twisted. $20 million is life-changing money, but people were acting like he just was losing his life or something. Was just losing all the money he had. Like, he lost $20 million. But yeah, let me see this article so we can actually get a deep dive into the Ben Simmons and Sixers kind of saga. Brooklyn Nets guard Ben Simmons has filed a grievance to challenge the nearly $20 million of his salary withheld to him by the Sixers this season. The grievance, which will now go into arbitration process, could have a larger league implications amid future issues of mental health matters and NBA contracts. So Ben Simmons, obviously, he hasn't played a game all season, and he said he was out with mental health. Now he has I believe, a herniated disc in his back. So he honestly could win this grievance, honestly. Philadelphia has repeatedly insisted that Simmons was in breach of his contract under the collective bargaining agreement between the NBA and NBPA Association, and had the right to recoup the money advanced to him before the season. The NBA and the NBPA have been at odds on this issue, and now arbitration could set a precedent on how future matters of mental health and contracts might be handled. Now, this can be an extremely sticky situation, okay? This is going to be interesting to see how these talks will be ongoing. The filing was made with the team, the NBA, and NBPA late this week, sources said. The Sixers have insisted that Simmons breached his player contract upon failing to show up for his start of training camp and refusing to play during the preseason and regular season. Simmons arrived in Philadelphia near the end of the preseason, but cited his mental health for the reason that his participation in team activities was so limited. Simmons and the Sixers disagreed over the degrees of access that the team and its doctors were allotted to Simmons to diagnose and affirm his mental health. In an attempt to resolve the matter without arbitration, Simmons's representatives had several conversations with the Sixers in the block with the trade to Brooklyn for James Harden February 10th. Sources said those talks ended without a resolution, prompting the filing of the grievance. Sources said Simmons did his age and Rich Paul fled sports because of the trade in the postseason meeting after the 3-time All-Star guard had a falling out with the team upon a poor performance in the Eastern Conference Finals loss to Atlanta. Obviously, you know, he was in famous pass to Matisse Thybulle when he had a wide open layup over Trae Young, a notoriously bad defender. Simmons, the number 1 pick in the 2016 draft, has been one of the league's top defenders and signed a 5-year, $170 million maximum extension in 2019. Beginning with Simmons' first paycheck on November 15, Philadelphia began to claw back the per-game salary of $360,000 for each game Simmons missed the season, because Simmons received a $16.5 million advance of his $33 million salary in the offseason. There was enough money in each paycheck to cover the per-game deductions. Minus the amount for escrow that was withheld from the NBA, the Sixers had been withholding nearly $1.3 million of Simmons' salary in each of his paychecks. Holy. That was continued since the trade to the Nets, who were made to deduct salary from Simmons' pay to wire to the Sixers. Sources said because Simmons' last paycheck is on April 30th, the deductions should carry over to the offseason. Once again, Simmons will receive a $8.25 million advance on July 1st and October 1st. The NBA collective bargaining agreement holds that a grievance will be initiated within 30 days from the date of the occurrence upon which the grievance is based, or within 30 days from the date when facts of the matter become known to initiate the grievance, according to the league CBA. It has been 6 weeks since Simmons was traded from Philadelphia to Brooklyn, but Simmons's representatives say they believe the trade did not trigger a 30-day window to initiate a grievance because the issue had been ongoing all season. Interesting, so just said. Simmons has yet to play a game for the Nets. He's had a previous back injury flare up while he tried to ramp up his conditioning to debut with the Nets. Simmons, who hasn't played since June's playoff loss against the Hawks and Eastern Conference Finals, received an epidural injection to treat a herniated disc in his back last month. Simmons' back issue and relevant scans were disclosed during the trade discussion. It did not pose any significant long-term issues for the Nets at the time, so it said. Now, all I want to know is, when did Ben Simmons get this injury? So obviously the Sixers knew, the Nets knew prior to trading for him, but when did this happen? Because last time we saw Ben Simmons play, he was fully healthy. We didn't hear any rumors about him being injured. All we saw was he was on this mental hiatus. So I don't know where this injury kind of flared up, and now he's trying to ramp up, and now he has injury. He has to take an epidural. Now he has a herniated disc. Like, where did this all really come from? The injury first affected Simmons during the spring of the pandemic in terms of 2020 season. Really, I didn't even know that. He also reported discomfort in his back upon reporting the Sixers training camp in October. The injury was assessed and treated by Philadelphia's team doctors, and he was cleared to resume basketball activity shortly thereafter. That period was the only time Philadelphia did not find Simmons in breach of his contract this season, sources said. Wow, that is a lot to take in. Okay, that is a lot to take in, but basically what I got from that is the Sixers are still deducting money from Ben Simmons' contract, obviously, and Ben Simmons still has not played a game with them, and it's going to be very interesting to see how these talks go along, because Ben Simmons has lost a lot of money, and the Sixers, obviously, they feel like they're in the right because he didn't play any games for them, so why go ahead and pay him? Ben Simmons says he's on his mental hiatus. Now he has a back injury that he's had since the 2020 season. And we haven't heard anything about that at all. And then all of a sudden, he ends up getting traded to the Nets. Everything's supposed to be good. He's supposed to be playing relatively soon, ramping it up. And then this back injury comes out of nowhere to us. But apparently, it's been an injury since 2020 that, again, we just had no idea of knowing about. And Ben Simmons has still played a grand total of 0 games for the Nets, who really need him right now, as they are still in the play-in. And they have a major game today against the Hawks, which could bounce them out of the play-in, especially if they continue to lose games after losing to the Hornets, losing to the Bucks on an absolute masterclass by Giannis Antetokounmpo, who was looking to get his 3rd MVP. So yeah, other than that, yo, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up. So follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok, and your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. And what are y'all thoughts on this whole entire Ben Simmons and Sixers saga? I thought it was over personally, but nope, he's now on the Nets, and they're still having these rumblings about, like, I thought it would be over with the trade happened. They would just wash their hands, everything's good, but nope, as they have to go ahead and probably go to court and go to a hearing with the NBA, NBPA, everybody else involved, Ben Simmons, his agent, this, that, and the third. Yeah, this situation is far from being closed. It is just reopening now all of a sudden. So yeah, how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys feel like Ben Simmons will win this grievance, or what do you guys thought about this? Because I feel like it'll be pretty tough for him to lose it, because he was on a mental hiatus, so he wasn't able to play games, which is a obviously a good answer. So you can't really discredit somebody from going on a mental hiatus, and yeah, you feel me? So yeah, like I said, that is the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. It's your boy John, and I'm out, man. Peace.